Wife scratched her finger, collapsed at the sight of hydrogen peroxide. I'm concerned about her ability to handle childbirth. My wife, 32F, and I, 34M, went to the gym yesterday morning, and at some point my wife, we'll call her Laura, scratched her finger on something. Laura has a history of being selectively sensitive to pain and discomfort. She is a strong and capable woman that I love, but if it's 80 degrees with a breeze, Laura will talk herself into it being too cold to stay outside. The joke between us is she is like the princess and the pea story. These things happen often. I am not exaggerating in the slightest when I say this time the cut was less than half a centimeter wide and 2 millimeters across, just surface level, no larger than a paper cut. Later that night she remembered the cut and had what I would describe as a meltdown. She said her finger pain was throbbing, she was feeling nauseous from the pain and said it was becoming too much. I offered to clean it with hydrogen peroxide, but she said it would hurt too much. I said it bubbles but doesn't burn like alcohol, and you need to clean it if you cut it on gym equipment because it's dirty. As soon as I put a few drops of hydrogen peroxide on it, she collapsed to her knees and said she could not continue. I admit I got a little upset at the theatrics. But it was nothing new at this point. Then after I rinsed the wound in the sink, she is still on her knees crying. I told her I was going to get Neosporin and a Band-Aid, to which she begged me not to add Neosporin because it would hurt. I explained to Laura that Neosporin actually would cause no pain and even add potential relief. She yelled when I put it on and nearly fainted. At this point I was a little upset and potentially the asshole. I tried to explain to Laura that her body was very resilient and she is a tough person because I've seen it in our workouts and the way she can work through brutal work challenges and environments. However, she needs to work on her psychological hang-up on discomfort like this. We want to have kids in next 2 years, and in all honesty I don't think she can handle childbirth right now. I said it's something we can work on together, but to start, she needs to get serious and adopt the mentality that her body can handle a lot. I told her it's upsetting that she seems to just give up and surrender to any pain, like she has no will to shake it off. What example would we be setting for our child? What would happen if you were injured and needed to get help without me? We ended up getting into an argument about this. I feel like an asshole, but I don't know how I could have approached this differently. Edit/context. First, I would like to thank everyone for sharing their thoughts and suggestions. Second, I would like to clarify that I am one of those lucky few that married someone they consider their soulmate. Despite my comments coming across as callous and patronizing, I love and care for my wife tremendously, and I don't believe she sees it that way. However, I'm here for that outside perspective. I'll be with my wife until I'm dead or she finds someone better. Even if that means carrying her around for the next 80 years. Lastly, while we have visited doctors in the past, we may not have placed enough value on getting another opinion. That is something I will bring up with my wife again. I do not typically hold an opinion when it comes to my wife's medical care. I believe I may have an old-fashioned approach to doctors, as I've had some bad experiences with misdiagnosis and overprescribed treatments. My attitude when it comes to my wife has always been to get the care that she thinks she needs, as I cannot make that decision for her. We both acknowledge there are differences in the way we pursue medical care. I have never suggested her symptoms or desire to meet with a doctor were not legitimate. When she had not gotten to a diagnosis from doctors and they suggested treating it like it was nervousness or anxiety, we both kind of considered it psychological, a pain in the ass, but not overly serious and something we could work on. As my post here would suggest, that is easier said than done. It's a huge gray area trying to figure out if you are being too controlling or if you are enabling. My wife does not have red hair. Hydrogen peroxide is no longer recommended for cleaning wounds.